Jay Glazer Report is brought to you by Jarlsberg Cheese, distinctively sweet and nutty. Jarlsberg, the perfect cheese for game day. And Mercy College. Go to mercy.com/edu/WFAN for more information on the next grad open house. All right, let's get to a couple things here. Number one, Kubiak out. And let me say this, because I know...
Wait.
Yeah.
Before you start,
No.
I love when I come on and you're fired up about something, but I missed it.
Oh yeah, it was about the way they handle that press conference down there at Florida State. The guy's laughing about the guy laughing about sexual assault like it's a joke.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It absolutely, regardless of what you think happened there.
Right. I mean, you can't act like it's a joke. I mean, they were making it was Ask a guy. Well, reporter asked a question. He goes, "Well, what about your girlfriend?" I mean, what are you talking about here? There's a press conference about a guy who might be guilty of a sexual assault. I mean,
it's not a friggin' improv. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a joke the way they handle that thing. All right, Kubiak's out. And he got he got a long leash. He was there a long time. McNair's a good owner. I know McNair a little bit. He's a good man. Now, he'll go big game hunting. Where will he go?
Well, let me tell you this. In all the years I've been covering football, I don't remember an opening that is this attractive. And one of the reasons is what you said, Bob McNair. Okay, the guy spends and he leaves you alone.
And he doesn't want to coach. He wants no interest in. He wants nothing to do with coaching. He wants to hire the right guy, and he wants to get out of the way.
He's about as patient as you possibly can get.
Classy guy with money. Classy guy with money. That's what he is. Yep.
You want a guy who's not going to meddle, who's going to let you do what you want. And you look at that roster. The roster is phenomenal. Plus, you have the number one pick, possibly.
Yep. It's a great job. Now, who wants it?
Plus, there's no state tax. It is about attractive as a job as you could ever ask for. So,
all right, so who's at the top of his list?
Look, it's just starting right now. And I know that they're putting out, for him to say also today is like, well, I want somebody who has head coaching experience. No, don't limit yourself. Obviously, they talked about Lovie Smith already.
Right.
And I think Lovie Smith should be at the top of just about every list out there. And you know what? Look at this. When you think about Lovie, okay, what is winning right now for everybody? For the Seattle Seahawks, for the Carolina Panthers, for these teams that are making a strong run, the San Francisco 49ers. It's defense and a running game.
Yep.
And that's what Lovie. So last year, all these owners wanted somebody who wants to run this read option offense, which is pretty much dead right now. All right, you want to go get the guy who's going to be the best guy for your place. Lovie would be perfect for that place. I think Lovie would be great for several places in this league. But I do think there's a lot of good candidates out there who would be right for that place. Mike Zimmer from the Cincinnati Bengals. I think his time has come. He's been like a head coach for all these years, never gotten the opportunity.
No, I think Zim is about ready to get a job. I agree. But right now, he's going to first talk to all the guys that he's got a head start on, guys who don't have a job, and the guys who are either in college or the guys like Gruden if they're interested. I don't think Cow is. Everyone tells me who knows Cow that he doesn't want to coach. So I'm going to leave Cow out of this, okay? Because everyone tells me that, and I don't know Cow from a hole in the wall, but everyone I talk to who knows him tells me he's happy, he likes New York, and he doesn't want to coach.
Yeah, and look, the game is different than it is now. Look, it happened with Joe Gibbs also. I would go after somebody right now. The interesting thing, and I talked to somebody last week about Kevin Sumlin when his deal, when he got it done. I talked to somebody who, with his representation. I said, is this one of those fake deals? Or really? He said, no, it's really a thing because if there was ever a job he'd take, he's close with Rick Smith down there in Houston. And he can go right there. If you're going to go to the Houston Texans, you're not going to re-sign for a 6-year deal or whatever it was.
No. And you can't mess with the people at Texas A&M because they run Houston. So, I mean, they run the whole city. So, I mean, that's a tough transition right there.
I think a guy like David Shaw, he's definitely going to get some interest.
I think he'd be a great head coach. I would be, if I'm an NFL guy, I would really talk to Shaw hard. I don't know that he wants to leave, though, does he?
No, I don't know. I know that there's some feelers here and there, but here's the thing also, and you've really seen it this year with Foxy, with Kubiak, with all these guys getting sick, with Ozzie Newsome. The difference in stress levels between college and pro, it's completely different.
I totally agree. Totally, much harder job. Absolutely, and that's what the guys in college realize. They can get paid almost as much and get a lot of time off.
The other guy, I will tell you this, I would look at, for a guy who's had experience, I would look at Jimmy Mora. Jimmy's done a great job with UCLA, has plenty of experience. Sometimes you just need that extra spot.
Right. That's an interesting. That's not a bad one. All right, let's go to Rodgers now. Rodgers is
two more names. Two more names for you. Adam Gates, who's the offensive coordinator for the Broncos.
Right.
Everybody in that building thinks is ready. He's done it with Tebow. He's done it obviously with Peyton. But it's how much he's learned from Peyton and Foxy and Jack Del Rio. He's ready. He can command a room.
All right.
He's another guy I like a lot.
All right, McCarthy and the Packers now. No Rodgers this week. I guess they said he's cleared every hurdle except the bone isn't healed right. Does that mean we're looking at him being down the rest of the way, or is it still going to be week to week?
No, they never talked about him being down at all. I talked to Mike about it the other day, and story came out, and he's like, "We've never discussed that. Why would we? Why would we possibly do that?" And Aaron's the type of guy who wants to play. Mike has specifically stayed away from Aaron in this subject because he knows Aaron's going to try and wear him out. But last week, and I think I told you this last week, he practiced last week, and it was sore. And the problem is. The problem with the injury was as good as it possibly could be, but it ends up hurting him in the end. What I mean by that is that it was as clear a crack as you can get. So it didn't displace, nothing chipped. Normally, if you break, displace, they put it together and they put a plate on it, and you're like, okay, you're back in 6 weeks. Here, because they didn't do anything, they just let it go. They just let it heal. They didn't go in there for it. You're at the mercy of when this thing completely heals, and there's no exact timetable where there usually is if you go in and try to fix it.